It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And up next are the Texans' sure-handed wide receiver, author of an 1,100-yard season so far, and hoping to add more. It's the Texans and the Jets. All that and more coming up next.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Houston Texans and the New York Jets. Again, everyone, with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU at Zach Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's Wilson to throw right away. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, that's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Wilson and Moore there for a Jets first. Back to throw. Wilson. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Only needing 2 yards on second down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. They go play action with Wilson. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper. Play action. Now Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. To throw is Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Throwing on first down, Lloyd. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for a sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
He finds his man, complete. It's Newton. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 44-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
He's got room at the 30.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay.
And the Texans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Well, this is what you want to see from your rookie quarterback on an opening drive, Charles. He looks cool, he looks calm, he looks collected in marching them down the field.
And, Brandon, I just think the game continues to change and evolve because we're calling these guys rookies.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
He's going to keep this again.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out.
And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive.
And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500, and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's second down.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They go play action now. Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Corner blitz that time by J.C. Horn, and he got home and dropped him. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game.
And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
They'll keep it on the ground. Morse. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down.
The Texans at a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
They'll run on first down. Morse. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find some.
Touchdown, Texans!
Kenny Galladay,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Texans go up by 2 touchdowns.
Now the try here for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it's capped off by the touchdown from Kenny Galladay.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The New York set to take the field.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Wilson. His throw incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He's got the connection to Moore. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. Fourth down. On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's the option going right.
And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. Looking to throw. Lloyd. Over the middle, complete. That's Newton.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Now a handoff up the middle. Morse. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Morse. He will push his way down about the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw. Lloyd. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
And it's caught. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain down.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The final shot before break. Lloyd, and got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Texans will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. From just inside the 20, a short kick.
So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front.
As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Colts who have the lead in the second quarter. The Colts seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Mixon, 3 touchdown runs. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. The Packers trying to hold on and claim victory. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Texans in that first half. And a big reason why they have this big lead, the running game. They're over 100 yards as a team, and it's been the catalyst for this offense. Meanwhile, for the Jets, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
They'll go option to the short side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6. Up the middle they go. Morse. Room here to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 22-yard line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lloyd. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. They're mobile. The second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 28-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On second down, a run with Hall.
Avoids him at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. He's going to look deep for more. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now it's Wilson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. And here comes the Texans now.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
To throw on second down. Lloyd, he finds his man, complete. It's Summers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Morse. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. The 46-yard line.
On second down now. Morse. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And now they're in the hurry up. On third down. Morse. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
89 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Houston set to take over as this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Lloyd, he finds his man, complete. That's Newton. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say because someone's...
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
And New York set to take the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of it.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we have
and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Lloyd. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game.
And the Texans add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
Point after, right down the middle. And it is 42-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Ball start. Offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got it for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Wilson. This one caught by Davis.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Jets are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good
as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here.
Well, they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Morse, and he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first.
107 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
On first down, Morse. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Texans on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's the option, running right, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Up the middle they go. Morse, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Here's Wilson. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. On first down, Wilson.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again here, Wilson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
So, Charles, I mean, this is just becoming an exhibition now on how to rush the passer.
Yeah, and I can't help but laugh a little bit because I'm enjoying what we're watching. This is coming from a guy who was in college just a year ago, and we keep harping on their evaluation. They saw not just a guy who could rush the passer, but could rush the passer well, and that's why they took him as high as they did.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And the Texans set to come onto the field.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Texans, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.